Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honorable Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Members of Parliament, fellow citizens in the gallery and those watching from home or through live streaming, a very good afternoon to you all. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to commend Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Strategic Planning and National Development and Statistics for the visionary 2025-2026 national budget, which lays a strong foundation for national stability and resilience. Before I proceed further, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to pay tribute to the former Minister for Culture and Waterways, Honorable Maciu Nalumisa, who was a visionary leader and whose mission in the ministry was rooted not in power but in purpose, and whose legacy was not defined in policies but in his unwavering commitment in transforming the agriculture sector. I also like to take this time, Mr. Speaker, sir, to congratulate the Turangambali Tuneo, Pilau Sanbunokalov, and his people for a smooth and successful installation. Also congratulate Kwelengu, Honorable Kurunrani, for his re-entry into this parliament. The 2025-2026 national budget, Mr. Speaker, sir, is a practical, forward-leaning, and compassionate budget. Budget with a clear mission to improve lives, expand opportunity, and prepare our nation for the future. It's grounded in the powerful theme, building security, stability, and prosperity. And that is exactly what this budget delivers. Stability for our economy, for jobs, and for the rule of law, and prosperity for families, for businesses, and for future generations. Mr. Speaker, this is not a budget of giveaways, or an election budget, or lollipop budget as stated by the other side of the House. It is the people's budget. Budget of purpose, of planning, and of principal investment. This is about safeguarding our nation today while building the foundations of a stronger Fiji tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, sir, our debt to GDP ratio, once escalating above 90%, has now been brought under 80% through fiscal discipline. The coalition government has stabilized the economy we inherited, not worsening. Mr. Speaker, sir, the rising cost of living continues to be one of the most urgent challenges facing our families. And the coalition government has responded with compassion, decisiveness, and a clear plan. Reduction of value-added tax from 15% to 12.5%, alongside the continuation of zero-rated VAT on 22 essential food and household items will provide over $500 million in direct tax relief to our people. These fiscal measures are not only timely, they are targeted. When combined with expanded social welfare assistance, transport subsidies, and increased support for farmers and leaseholders, they reflect the government's unwavering commitment to easing the burden on our most vulnerable and ensuring that no Fijian is left behind. It's what it means to build security in the home, stability in the economy, and prosperity for every Fijian. Mr. Speaker, sir, our response to the cost of living crisis is not confined to tax reform alone. 2025-2026 national budget delivers a comprehensive and people-focused relief package targeting not just the symptoms, but the root pressures our families face. Mr. Speaker, sir, households with $30,000 in income will receive a fully subsidized access to water, electricity, and essential medicines. This consolidated support is a direct investment in household dignity and well-being, ensuring that no family is forced to choose between the basics of life. Public transport affordability is also being addressed. Fijians will now pay 10% less for bus fares, while operators will continue to receive the full regulated rates, an approach that balances relief for commuters with sustainability for service providers. This will benefit thousands of workers, students, and market vendors who rely on buses daily. Mr. Speaker, sir, education remains at the heart of this coalition government's mission to create a more just and inclusive society. That's why the $200 Back to school support for every eligible student will continue, ensuring that no child is left behind because of financial hardship. And to ensure that every community feels safer and more secure, the Fiji Police Force will expand by another 1,000 officers. This significant investment in law enforcement aims to improve response times, deter crime, and strengthen community policy. Mr. Speaker, sir, these are not isolated measures. They are part of a clear, compassionate, and coordinated approach to restoring stability in every household and reinforcing trust in public service. When we say no Fijian will be left behind, we mean it. And through this budget, we are putting those words into action. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Local Government welcomes $34.7 million allocated to our portfolio. This allocation will directly support our strategic priorities, strengthening municipal infrastructure, developing new towns, building climate resilience, improving waste management, and restoring democratic representation in our municipal councils. Mr. Speaker, sir, a major milestone for the Ministry, and indeed for our democratic journey, is the progress made toward restoring local government elections. With support from the International Foundation for Electoral System and International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, and following broad-based consultations with political parties, we successfully completed amendments to the Local Government Act of 1972, passed by this Parliament in November 2023. The draft regulations to support implementations under the Electoral Act are now being finalized by the Office of the Solicitor General. Mr. Speaker, sir, at this juncture, I must take a moment to correct a misleading claim made by Honorable Pravin Bala in this August House. This is the same Honorable Bala that made a public statement in September 2014, saying that his immediate task was to hold the municipal elections, but this never happened. And again, in 2018, he said, I quote, processes have to be followed, and it's not for someone to say from outside why municipal council elections are not being held, unquote. And also stated that he will complete the review process of the Local Government Act 1972. Unfortunately, he could not deliver his promises. Not here. It is factually incorrect, Mr. Speaker, stated by him that the coalition government is hiding the funds somewhere. Fiji Elections Office is an independent and constitutional body responsible for conducting all elections in this country, including municipal elections. The Ministry holds funds for logistic support that is essential for preparation and coordination with the Fiji Elections Office. Logistics involve civic awareness, communication with councils, administrative preparations, and other groundwork necessary to facilitate a smooth electoral process. The Speaker, sir, $538,000 provided in this budget is operational. It reflects our readiness, our commitment, and our action-oriented approach to restoring a democratic representation in our towns and cities. The Speaker, sir, in the current financial year, is on market as engines for local economies. The Ministry proudly delivered the 3 new municipal markets in the Kaisi, Libok, and Subsabu. These markets support women, persons with disabilities, farmers, and small business owners who are the everyday heroes of our informal economy. We welcome the $335,500 allocated for upgrades to Ragirak Market, including a new MSME floor to boost economic participation and innovation at the local level. Speaker, sir, far too long, vendors in Sianganga, many of them are women, farmers, and micro entrepreneurs, have worked in challenging and undignified conditions, but they never gave up. And now we're giving back what they deserve to get. With $1.7 million invested by this government, the new Sianganga market will become a vibrant center of economic and social activity. It will provide space for 50 vendors, dedicate areas for fresh produce, Ngona handicrafts, and hygienic, climate-resilient fish market. Speaker, sir, the adjoining bus terminal, secure vendor parking, administrative office, and landscape public spaces will reshape Sianganga into a modern, connected township that truly serves its people and surrounding communities. I'm pleased to inform this August House that the Site 7 PEC confirmation have been completed and construction is set to begin this month, with completion by the end of the next financial year. Waste management and environmental sustainability, Mr. Speaker, sir, Cabinet endorsed Western Division Landfill Project is a flagship initiative with $2.5 million allocated for the remediation of dump sites in Singatoka, Lautoka, Ba, and Rakiraki. Working with the UNDP, ADB, and the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, we are designing a modern engineered landfill with capacity for recycling, leachate treatment, and safe waste segregation. The remediation project has received equal support for the UNDP and the Coral Reefs projects. In parallel, JAC has supported the solid waste master plan under the J Prism 3 initiative will promote the 3R and return approach across all municipalities. This budget further allocates $590,000 for rural local authorities, $3.2 million for waste collection subsidies, and $1.5 million for garbage trucks for small municipalities. Speaker, I'm also pleased to report progress on 2 stall projects, the Lautoka swimming pool. Under the previous government, poor oversight delayed these much-needed facilities, disappointing the people of Lautoka. With this budget support of $1.9 million for the swimming pool, we are completing the projects, restoring public trust, and creating vibrant community spaces for health, recreation, and youth engagement. The Ba Stadium, or Govind Park, is nearing completion of Phase 2, and we expect to open before the beginning of the new financial year. Ba will be able to host day matches, and there are already talks to host IDC Sokoto Malaysia. There's also talks with the CEO for the Ndrua for we have trial runs on trial games at the Govind Park in Ba. On urban development and infrastructure resilience, Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget reaffirms our commitment to resilient and inclusive urban development, one that responds to the needs of both our growing towns and our undeserved rural communities. The development of new towns in Namboa, Lukias, and Shanghai is backed by $4.8 million allocation, and with civil works already underway, and further training support set to expand into the rural growth centers. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm also pleased to announce that the Namboa Passenger Terminal Services building is nearing completion and is scheduled for commissioning in the coming weeks. On the master plan for the Greater Suva, Nandi, and Lautoka, the Speaker, sir, been allocated $1.96 million have been allocated this budget for the master plan for Suva, Greater Suva, as well as Nandi and Lautoka areas. A dedicated subcommittee has been established to oversee its implementation. Said by myself and comprising key ministers, we're planning for children's future, not just for the coming election. Mr. Speaker, sir, the building and construction sector has emerged as one of Fiji's most resilient and fast-growing economic engines. Department of Town and Country Planning has over the past 2 years alone approved major development projects totaling an impressive $1.5 billion nationwide. Speaker, in the 2022-2023 financial year, the Western Division alone recorded development approvals worth $559 million, headlined by the landmark $122 million Nasoso Island Resort, an iconic addition to our tourism landscape and a symbol of strong investor confidence. Private investment accounted for 63% of construction activity in that area, driven largely by growth in tourism, commercial development, and industrial expansion. It is the private sector putting its faith and its capital into Fiji's future. Speaker, sir, by 2023-2024, momentum only intensified with consents rising to $623 million. And just in 6 months this year, that is January to June 2025, over $381,375 worth of development approvals have been granted, which equates to 52% of the total last year. Speaker, sir, on the building digital reforms, a major reform under this budget is the Building Permit Approval System, or known as BPAS, BPAS, a digitized billing permit system that enhances transparency, reduces processing times, and enables real-time tracking of applications. Legislative changes underway to support e-lodgement, e-signatures, and form recognition of qualified person. Now for the Ministry of Housing. The Ministry of Housing speakers also wish to extend my sincere appreciation to the Honourable Minister of Finance for his team for allocating $31.8 million to the Ministry of Housing. This funding will enable the Ministry to scale up critical infrastructure development initiatives that support socio-economic growth, enhance service delivery, and contribute meaningfully to sustainable and inclusive development across the country. Speaker, sir, the development of the new National Development Plan has provided a pathway to formulate actionable policies and strategies. This has led to the successful completion of the new National Housing Policy 2025 to 2030. With the 22,500 allocation, the Ministry will continue to work on the review of the development of Informal Settlement Act, Informal Settlement Upgrading Program, not allocation policy, and first home ownership policies, and many more that aligns with national priorities and international commitments, while also addressing gaps, adapting to development contexts, and enhancing implementation and service delivery. I'm also proud to announce that recently the Ministry has embarked on a digital platform for the first home ownership initiative. The digitization of this grant program is the first to be done since its inception, 2014. Embarking on this new digital era will now provide more streamlined and efficient processes as we move away from traditional paper-based method. Over 4,000 families have already benefited from this initiative, with total payouts exceeding 55.7 million. Now, with our new digitized first home ownership portal, applying through various financial institutions is easier than ever, bringing faster service and greater efficiency to even more aspiring first homeowners. Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Premila Kumar stated this morning that this is like a repackaged product. But it's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, sir, that they just talked about in 2014, but there was no work done about this particular digitized system. The Speaker, sir, in this new financial year, first home ownership has been allocated a total of $3.5 million. This is going to benefit those people who are first home owners who like to buy the houses, buy land, or should build or construct the houses. Speaker, sir, the Ministry will also continue to assist those that are affected by fire, or housing assistance for fire victims will continue, and the Ministry has been allocated $244,000 in the $165 in the new financial year. Similarly, for those living with disabilities, the Ministry has been allocated $293,478. And for the formalization of informal settlements, the Ministry has been allocated $17,096, $40 for the 6 ongoing projects. These are in Tavela, Nandi, Torre Lotoka, Field 4 in Lotoka, and Sakwada Nasina, along with 2 new sites, Valde, Wanguawa in Ba, and Vunika in Lambasa. And there will be 4 new project sites that will commence construction in the new financial year, with this Andresawa in Lotoka, Lovo, Sisa in Lotoka, Nambar in Lotoka, as well as Thombati in Nasino. The Public Rental Board also received $2.9 million. $1 million will cater for subsidy grant to support rental charges, while $1.9 million for the construction of 24 units at the G2 Estate Development Project. On the rise or revitalizing informal settlements in the environment, Ministry has been allocated $704,000 to continue delivering essential water, sanitation, hygiene services in targeted informal settlements. For the Housing Authority, they've been allocated $985,000, $157 to cater for the consultancy works for Vekomba new subdivision in the coming year. Also, Ministry, Mr. Speaker, sir, will continue to refund monies for those that were affected, those that had invested for housing units through the Pacific community network. And this financial year, we have been allocated $50,000. Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget tackles the real challenges our people face: rising cost of living, the need for decent infrastructure, safer communities, cleaner towns, better services, and more equitable growth. As Minister of Housing and Local Government, I reaffirm my full support for this budget. May God bless Fiji.